for saying name and everything. So my name is Nathan Sexton, Nethansexton. I'm a detective with the Homicide Unit here with the Austin Police Department. We're here for the case of Adelliado Bernabe, the ice cream cart vendor who was shot on June the 23rd and was deceased on July 1st. And yesterday there were 3 arrests made in this case, which consisted of 3 suspects identified as Marquise Davis, Jermaine Jones, and Devlin Wardy. All 3 have been charged with capital murder of $1 million bond each for their part in the robbery, shooting, murder of Mr. Bernabe. They're all currently booked into the Travis County Jail for those specific offenses. There is a 4th suspect that we believe was driving the suspect vehicle, which is currently unidentified. So we're still seeking information related to this case in identifying this 4th suspect. But there are 3 individuals in jail at this time. And we can field any questions that anyone may have.
Do police believe the suspects were linked to any other crimes in the area?
It is very likely that these same suspects were committing other robberies in the area. We believe that same day that they were attempting robberies in other areas, but as of yet, they're not directly identified to any other specific robberies.
Can you tell us what happened?
Yes. So the individuals were attempting to rob Mr. Bernabe, who had been selling his ice cream. He had been over at the Lantana Trace Apartments, and he'd walked across the street to the Serena Park apartment complex, where he was approached by 3 black males, the 3 suspects who are currently in jail. And those 3 made contact with him. They attempted to rob him of his money, and one of those suspects shot him multiple times, and they all fled the scene. And over the course of our investigation, we've spent weeks on this. I know it may seem like some of these cases go away and a lot of the public and media don't see what we're doing behind closed doors, but we've been working on this case every day since this happened, trying to identify witnesses, suspects, and kind of piece everything back together. And so we've been able to put the story together that those 3 men had robbed Mr. Bernabe, shot him, and then fled, and remained at large since then.
What has the community response been to this? And have you been able to get any assistance in your investigation from the community?
There has been a lot of fear and hesitance from, I think, a lot of witnesses who are either concerned with immigration or concerned with retaliation, because so many of the residents of those apartments may think that there's other people out there that may want to rob them or harm them, or that the suspects in this case may have friends who want retaliation. So there was a lot of hesitance and fear of retaliation, but there were a good amount of witnesses that did come forward and explain what they saw that day, which definitely helped us, and we were able to move forward with that. The community, especially that apartment complex with a lot of folks that we spoke with, was of course outraged and upset that this nice old man who was just selling ice cream at $1.50 a piece, and was known by many in the community as a grandfather, was shot and killed over something so small. So people were very upset, and I think a lot of that motivated some people to come forward and share their story.
Anybody else?
Yes,
No,
hi.
no.
I apologize for I came in a little bit late here. I was wondering if we already went over if the 3 suspects were involved in any other crimes and if that potentially led to their arrest.
We did, yeah. There's evidence that shows that it looked like they were attempting to rob other people that same day, but and they most likely have been involved in other robberies prior to, but they have not yet been identified with any other specific crimes around that time.
I also got here a little late, but I was wondering, did you share how much was stolen from them?
That remains uncertain.
Okay.
We're not sure if they actually did get away with his money. A lot of ice cream vendors will keep the money that they're made in different areas, different places. So it is possible that something was taken from him without knowing exactly how much. He did still have a wallet with him, so that wasn't taken.
Could I ask a question?
Sure.
Sure.
Hi, Tony Cantu at Patch.com. Now, I'm wondering how prevalent these kinds of crimes are against people like ice cream vendors. I've noticed that these incidents have occurred in other parts of the country. Have you seen that occur in Austin? And what sort of advice maybe would you give to merchants who do this kind of work? They seem pretty vulnerable to me.
Before he answers, everybody who after you ask a question, please mute yourself just so the audio is a little better for everybody.
Thank you.
So I'm not sure on the specific stats and trends, but I do know just from this case in particular that there are a lot of folks in that area, especially the Hispanic community, who was very reluctant to come forward. There were a lot of people who hadn't reported being robbed, and after this came forward said, yeah, I was actually robbed by such and such a couple weeks ago, last week, a few days ago, and we would ask, did you ever report this to the police? And the majority of them had not. Some of it was they, again, feared retaliation from potential suspects, but a lot of it was people that were maybe scared of the process and concerned with immigration status. And again, I want to stress that no victim of any crime like that should ever be afraid to come forward. We're not going to be concerned with someone's immigration status, and we just want to get justice for anyone who is a victim of a crime like that.
We're going to take 3 more questions and then go into Spanish Sound. Anybody else?
I got one more. What's it like for you as an officer to investigate these kinds of crimes, as there's a lot of community backlash against police right now? I feel like that it just might be a little bit tense, you know.
Sure. That's a good question. We just have to do our job on a normal, regular basis, and we really can't be concerned with that type of thing. We hope, and we know we get a lot of community support that doesn't make the media. People will come up to us left and right and say, thank you very much for what you're doing. We appreciate that, and thank you for trying to get justice for Mr. Bernabe. So we really appreciate those folks who do come up and have supported us with either just kind words or helpful information. And we've had a lot of tips and folks come forward expressing things that don't necessarily make the mainstream media that we see. So there's support out there, and we appreciate that from those folks.
Hello, Tony Cantu at Patch again. I'm sorry. I was wondering, and I also came in a little late dialing in, but I was wondering if that sizable reward was collected by someone on this.
It has not been, but that still would remain out there for the identification. I don't know if you caught that part I'd mentioned earlier, but the 4th suspect that we believe was driving the vehicle associated with these suspects still remains at large, so that reward money would still be in effect for that information.
Thank you, officer.
Last question, y'all.
If nobody else is going to ask a question, I was hoping you could maybe go over the case one more time because my computer was messing up at the beginning, but if not, that's okay too.
Just a quick overview.
Yeah.
June 23rd, Adelliado Bernabe was selling ice cream out of his cart in Serena Park Apartments, and he was shot. He was pronounced deceased July 1st, where the homicide unit took over that case. We've been investigating it daily since that date. trying to do everything that we possibly can to put together what happened that day. 3 suspects have been identified and charged with capital murder, which consists of Jermaine Jones, Devlin Wardy, and Marquise Davis. And they're all currently in the Travis County Jail with $1 million bond each for capital murder.
Thanks, Shaul. We're going to go into Spanish sound now for anybody that wants it. When you're ready.
Okay. Soy Detective Sexton, se letra N-A-T-H-A-N-S-E-X-T-O-N, y soy un detective con la policía de Austin. Estamos investigando un caso de Adeliado Bernabe, que murió el 1 de julio. Alguien lo robó y lo disparó el 23 de junio. Y nuestra sección de homicidio está investigando este caso desde el día del 1 de julio. Durante nuestra investigación hemos identificado 3 sospechosos que se llaman Marquise Davis, Jermaine Jones y Devlin Wardy. Y estos 3 hombres están ahorita en la cárcel por matando a señor Bernabe. Sabemos que fue una persona que está manejando el vehículo sospechoso que todavía tenemos que identificar. Y todavía el dinero que está para información, si alguien sabe quién fue este hombre que está manejando el carro, solamente estamos preguntando, queremos que si alguien tiene esa información, si llama a nuestra oficina de homicidio para darnos esa información. Pero ahorita tenemos, como dije, 3 sospechosos en la cárcel por matar al señor Bernabe. Y si alguien tiene preguntas.
Buenas tardes, Karima Hernández de Univisión. Quisiera saber los cargos que les presentaron a los 3 sospechosos y también qué tan importante fue la participación de la comunidad a la hora de arrestar a estos hombres.
La comunidad en esos apartamentos y vecinos por ese lado, la mayoría de la gente está muy enojado con los sospechosos porque saben que este hombre solamente estaba tratando de vender helado, solamente estaba tratando de hacer dinero y vivir, y no fue ninguna razón para disparar a este hombre. Gente estaba enojado con eso, y tenemos varios testigos que han hablado con nosotros para decir que han mirado ese día, porque fue las 3 de la tarde, ese día creo que fue un martes, y gente estaba en la casa. Creo con eso nos ayudó a identificar los sospechosos que tenemos ahorita. Y los 3 están en la cárcel ahorita por homicidio.
Detective, buenas tardes. Mario Tapia de Reporte de Austin. Mi pregunta es, ¿han tenido contacto con los familiares de la víctima? ¿Han hablado con ellos acerca del proceso que llevó a la detención de estas 3 personas?
La pregunta es si yo hablé con la familia.
Así es, ¿sí ha tenido contacto la policía con la familia?
Sí, yo hablé con la familia varias veces por todo este proceso. Alguien lo llamó ayer para decirles qué ha pasado y que los sospechosos estaban arrestados. Pero sí hablé con la familia en estas semanas para ver si han escuchado algo de otra gente. Yo sé que la familia tiene amigos que están hablando para decirles que han escuchado o miraron algo ese día y están tratando de ayudarles. Entiendo que es difícil para parte de esa familia porque el señor Bernabe mandó dinero a México para la familia y ahora no lo tienen. Tratamos de hablar con la familia cuando podemos, y ellos estaban tratando de ayudarnos en lo que forma podrían.
Anybody else?
Sí, una pregunta para el detective. Soy Tony Cantú con Patch.com. Usted mencionó anteriormente que fue temor a que se descubra el estatus inmigratorio de muchos de los testigos, que quizás demoró el proceso de la investigación. Pero, ¿me puede decir, detective, qué tipo de aseguranza tiene la comunidad de saber que no se les va a reportar? Porque el policía ha admitido en el pasado que ha cooperado con ICE. Entonces, yo entiendo ese temor. ¿Qué tipo de aseguranzas puede usted dar a la comunidad hispana que no va a tener nada que ver su estatus inmigratorio en hablar con los policías?
En nuestras investigaciones, nunca hablamos con ICE de alguien que es una víctima o de alguien que es un testigo. Nunca vamos a hablar con ellos discutiendo algo de inmigración. Y no preguntamos a alguien, ¿estás aquí en este país legal o ilegal? No, nadie debe preguntar eso porque no importa. No importa cuánto tiempo vives en esta ciudad o este país. Solamente queremos saber exactamente que este testigo miró algún día o qué pasó con una víctima para tratar de ayudarle. Y nunca debe pasar que un investigador va a preguntar, ¿estás aquí? ¿De qué forma estás aquí? Eso nunca debe pasar. Y estoy haciendo esto por casi 5 años y en todos mis casos nunca pregunto eso y no sé de nadie más que va a preguntar eso. Entiendo el miedo que gente tiene si vienen de otro país donde la policía no hace la misma cosa o si piensan que alguien va a reportarlo, pero nosotros no tenemos ninguna razón y nadie va a reportar una víctima o un testigo que está aquí legal o ilegalmente. Solamente queremos tener la información y tratar de ayudarle.
Muchas gracias.
Detective, una última pregunta nada más. Quería preguntarle acerca de este cuarto sospechoso que, bueno, estaba manejando el vehículo, por lo que se sabe. ¿Tenemos información de su nombre? ¿Tenemos un poquito más de datos de quién puede ser?
No tenemos un nombre todavía, pero también es un joven moreno.
Gracias.
De nada.
Thank you all very much.
Will Dupree here in the KXAN live studio. You've been watching a briefing from Austin Police talking about the arrest of 3 men for the murder of an ice cream man in East Austin. We have more details over on our website, kxan.com, and on the KXAN News app if you've downloaded that. Full details there. I want to reiterate the names of the suspects, so just 1 second as I pull that up for you all. They did not have full details about that. So these are the 3 suspects who have been arrested for the murder of Adelaido Bernabe. The suspects are Marquise Davis, who is 18, Jermaine Jones, who is 20, and Devlin Wardy, who is 19. What the police said is that they tried to rob Mr. Bernabe of his money while he was working and pushing his ice cream cart near an apartment complex. The police say that they believe one suspect shot Mr. Bernabe in multiple times, then they ran. They did have some hesitation from witnesses out of fear of retaliation before making these arrests, but they've been working on it since it happened in late June. A reward is still being offered at this time for information about a 4th suspect. Police say this is the person who drove those other 3 away after this robbery. And if anyone has information, you're asked to call police. Again, a reward still being offered for information about that person leading to the arrest. We want to thank you all for watching again. Once you can go over to our website, kxan.com, or on the KXAN News app. The story has been updated with details about this case and this latest update about the 3 arrests that happened by Austin police. We thank you all again for watching. I'm Will Dupree here in the KXAN live studio, and we'll see you back here another time.